what we were really wanting to touch on going first was fat mobilization and what that really means when you're working out. So obviously when you're working out, you're raising your thermogenesis, you're raising your basal metabolic rate, and you're increasing oxygen to your muscles, creating that sweat, making sure that you're detoxifying, as well as flushing out your lymphatic system. And so the best way, and the amino acids that are used the most in fat mobilization, the number one that I put down on your guys' handout was L-carnitine. There's a few different types of carnitine, and so there's a little bit of a confusion when you go to the store and you see all of the different options. There's L-carnitine, which is the one that we'll be talking about more for working out and for your muscles. And then there's acetyl L-carnitine, which is neuroprotective and really helpful for your cerebrovascular health in general. L-carnitine, there's a few things that are really, really good about it. The number one is that it aids in burning your fat. So I don't know if any of you guys remember from a long, long time ago back in biology class, all of our cells, imagine them as a little circle. They have, their cell membrane is a phospholipid bilayer, lipid meaning fat. And so what carnitine does when you supplement with that is it actually brings the fatty acids that you ingest in your food. It attaches to the carnitine and it brings the fat into your cells to be used by your mitochondria to make ATP or energy. So instead of burning glucose or burning, any other stored energy, it's actually taking that fat that you ingest and immediately using it for energy production. And I think that's one of the best things that you can take for working out. The other thing that I like about carnitine is due to the fact that it helps to actually burn the fat and it goes into the mitochondria, it's also amazing for mitochondrial function. And I think that that's a topic that a lot of us will start to hear about going forward is mitochondrial health and this thing that we're calling mitochondrial dysfunction. And that basically has a lot to do with your oxidative stress levels, the antioxidants that you need to be bringing into your body, and just the energy production and cellular health and respiration in general.
Lana, what does mitochondrial dysfunction look like in a person?
That's a great question. It's one of those things kind of like, does everybody know about adrenal fatigue and how you're just kind of blah? You can be exhausted, kind of wired but tired, a little edgy. So you could be tired, you could have low energy, you could not bounce back as quickly from injury. And then just in general, your stamina is low. Overall, it can present in many different facets. The other thing that's excellent about carnitine is that it also aids in recovery of working out, because what it does is it helps to increase nitric oxide production. So there's L-arginine that helps with that and carnitine. And what nitric oxide does is it actually dilates your blood vessels and it helps to get blood all the way out to the muscles that you're using for whatever exercise that you're performing at that time. Because as you know, oxygenated blood to the muscles is what actually feeds those movements and makes sure that you're not completely depleted of nutrient-rich blood once you're done with that exercise. So it's great to take before your workout to actually get that fat mobilized, but then it will also help you and be post-workout. You have DOMS. Does anybody here get that or experience that ever? Or Riley?
Yeah, absolutely. Team, when we have a really killer resistance workout, maybe you're a little sore the next day, and then the second day is the worst. That's what we're talking about with that delayed onset of muscle soreness.
That is a real thing. I know that I personally get that all the time. And it can be really debilitating if you're doing really high, high weights, low reps kind of thing. And what that does, what carnitine does is it can help to decrease the release of creatinine kinase, which is the breakdown of your muscles. So The things that make you sore is creatine kinase and lactic acid. The lactic acid flushes out through your lymphatic system by way of moving your muscles. And then the creatine kinase, that can be decreased by supplementing with the carnitine. And again, it's best to be taken pre-workout. And then also, if you're just in a weight loss program in general, it's also really nice to do daily in the morning, so that with the first food that you eat at breakfast, it also helps to get things moving. The next one that I have is conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA. Now, there's research shows kind of conflicting evidence on this. I would say in my profession, I find it to be more beneficial than harmful. But what it is linoleic acid is it's an essential fatty acid, but it's the omega-6 version of an essential fatty acid. So what can happen is the omega-6s are a little bit more pro-inflammatory, but when you conjugate it and actually change the bonds, it's much more, it's not as much of an issue. And it's actually really helpful and can be used for a multitude of things. The best things for CLA is that it helps to improve your body composition by not only decreasing your appetite, but also by increasing your energy expenditure. So what it does is it basically shunts more energy to the muscles, and it allows for you to work out that much harder, produce that much more energy in your movements, and to be that much more explosive as well. Again, with the CLA, I think doing it right before a workout is absolutely excellent to get just that much more benefit from your exercise. I noticed amazing benefits within the first month of my workouts. I was able to go harder, longer, and I was much leaner and more cut. So big benefits there. And the way that CLA helps not only with improving the body composition and increasing your energy, but the way that it does that is that it can actually decrease lipogenesis or adipogenesis. So that would be the production of fat cells. The one thing to make note of is that it can increase some of your inflammatory markers. So if you are having issues with inflammation, maybe if you want to be safe, I would stick more with the L-carnitine. And in that same vein, antioxidant wise, the green tea extract is also incredible for increasing fat mobilization. The biggest thing there with green tea is you see on a lot of different supplements something called EGCG. And that's basically the active constituent in green tea. The important part of taking a green tea extract is you want to make sure that the one that you're taking still also has the caffeine in the product, because synergistically they work really well together. And then the last one is what everybody's been doing, is the main component of bulletproof coffee, which is MCT oil. And so that means medium chain triglycerides. And what that is upon ingestion of MCT oil, whether you take it in the bulletproof form of brain octane or in a coconut oil, just by the spoonful, what that does is those medium chain triglycerides, they travel directly from your digestive system into your liver to be burned and used as fuel as well. So instead of just drinking coffee and, having energy from that, it also gives you that energy boost because it's burning the fats. And that one, I noticed, not only does it help with energy, but it also helps with satiety due to the fats in the oil. So that one's really helpful first thing in the morning. And it's safe to work out with just having a bulletproof coffee